Picture this. You're the President of the United States. You're boarding a car that weighs as much as 3 African elephants, has doors heavier than a Boeing 757s, carries bottles of your blood in a mini fridge, and can fire tear gas at attackers. Oh, and the door handles? They can electrosify anyone who touches them. This isn't science fiction. This is just Tuesday for the Secret Service. These aren't just guys in sunglasses and earpieces. They're tactical masterminds, trained killers, and sometimes awkward wingmen for presidents with wandering eyes.
We have a mission of providing a service. That service is protection. Any one of us will put ourselves in harm's way for our protectees at any given time. It doesn't matter if you're left or right, Democrat or Republican, we provide our service.
Yeah, you heard that right. And trust me, the secrets they're hiding, they're way crazier than you think. So buckle up, because we're about to reveal things the Secret Service really doesn't want you to know. Let's dive in. All right, first things first. When you hear Secret Service, you probably think presidential bodyguards, right? Well, here's something that'll blow your mind. That's not even what they were created for. The United States Secret Service was founded in 1865, the same year Abraham Lincoln was assassinated. But guess what? They had nothing to do with protecting presidents back then. Zero zilch. Their actual job? Catching people who made fake money. After the Civil War, up to 1/3 of all currency in circulation was fake. The country's economy was collapsing because nobody knew if their money was real. So the government created the Secret Service to hunt down counterfeiters and save the financial system. They didn't start protecting presidents until 1901, after President William McKinley was assassinated in Buffalo. That's when Congress finally said, hey, maybe we should actually protect our leaders. And yes, they still investigate counterfeiting today. In 2025 alone, they've conducted over 20 operations targeting payment card fraud across the United States.
Secret Service is investigating a series of counterfeit bills used at local stores in Mobile.
So that stone-faced agent next to the president, equally qualified to take down an assassin, catch someone printing fake 20s in their basement. Talk about job flexibility. Now let's talk about those mysterious code names. Renegade, Celtic, Eagle. These aren't just Hollywood inventions. They're 100% real and way more interesting than you'd think. The tradition started in 1945 with President Harry Truman, codenamed General. But as radio frequencies became easier to intercept, these names became crucial for security. If someone's listening and hears Renegade is moving to Crown, they won't immediately know that's President Obama heading to the White House. Here's the fun part. Presidents and their families get to choose from a pre-approved list, and everyone in the family gets names starting with the same letter. Barack Obama, Renegade, Michelle, Renaissance. Their daughters, Radiance and Rosebud. Bill Clinton chose Eagle. Ronald Reagan went with Rawhide, playing up his Hollywood cowboy image. Joe Biden? Celtic, a nod to his Irish heritage. But not all code names age well. Richard Nixon was Searchlight. Yeah, the guy involved in one of history's biggest cover-ups was called Searchlight. The irony is almost painful. Oh, and Eleanor Roosevelt was codenamed Rover, and her protection detail? Rover's Rangers. She suspected her husband FDR had something to do with that choice, but wait, code names aren't just for people. Air Force One, Angel, the presidential car, Stagecoach. Even locations get codes. Camp David is Cactus. And speaking of presidents with interesting social lives, let me tell you about the Secret Service's most awkward duty, playing wingman for presidents with wandering eyes. President Lyndon B. Johnson was notorious for this. The man had numerous affairs, and the Secret Service had to facilitate them. How? Johnson actually had his agents install a special buzzer system in the Oval Office. If his wife, Lady Bird Johnson, was approaching, an agent would hit the buzzer to warn him. Literally a wife alert button. Can you imagine having that job description? And then there's Bill Clinton. Oh boy. During his presidency, Clinton allegedly had a lady friend who visited so frequently that agents gave her a code name, Energizer. Why? Well, use your imagination.
Bill Clinton has had something extraordinary to say about his affair with Monica Lewinsky. Let's take a look.
I'm going to say this again. I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
The Secret Service had to coordinate these visits, keep them off official logs, and make sure nobody saw anything. Talk about awkward water cooler conversations at Secret Service headquarters. One former agent said the job sometimes felt less like protecting the president and more like being a very well-trained, heavily armed babysitter. They'd have to create distractions, clear hallways, and basically run interference so presidents could conduct their extracurricular activities. But here's the thing, agents can't refuse these duties. They can't judge. They just have to facilitate and stay quiet. Though after retirement, some agents have written tell-all books, which is how we even know about the buzzer system and Energizer. The Secret Service was not happy about those books.
My name is Kenneth Valentine, a veteran of the United States Secret Service, including protecting 3 sitting presidents, and this is everything that I'm authorized to tell you. Truth is that the Secret Service is anything but secret. Everything we do is on the front page of the news every single day. And so when you have a success, we shrink into the darkness. People don't even think about you. If you have a failure, it's front page news.
Speaking of the presidential car, let's talk about the Beast. This Cadillac limousine is less luxury vehicle and more tank disguised as a car. It weighs between 15,000 and 22,000 pounds, 5 times heavier than a normal car. The armor plating is 8 inches thick, steel, aluminum, titanium, and ceramic. The windows? 5-inch bulletproof glass. The doors weigh as much as Boeing 757 doors and are so heavy the president physically can't open them from inside. The fuel tank is armor-plated and filled with special foam to prevent explosions. The tires are Kevlar reinforced run flats the size of bus tires. There's even a Kevlar mat protecting the underside against bombs. Inside, a refrigerator with the president's blood type, an oxygen supply, a sealed cabin against chemical attacks, and a tear gas cannon. The door handles can be electrified to shock attackers. There are night vision cameras, smoke screen generators, and even oil slick dispensers to make chase vehicles spin out. It's basically Batman's car, except real. And there's not just one. There's a fleet of about a dozen, each costing over $1.5 million. When the president travels abroad, these cars are loaded onto C-17 cargo planes and flown wherever needed. Oh, and here's something wild. Following the motorcade is a truck carrying something called a Barrage Hammer. It's essentially a battering ram on wheels, designed to smash through barricades, disabled vehicles, or anything blocking the president's escape route. If the motorcade gets ambushed and the road is blocked, this thing just plows through whatever's in the way. It's literally a massive armored truck with a reinforced front, designed for maximum destruction. So yeah, the presidential motorcade isn't just cars, it's a mobile fortress with its own demolition vehicle. Just casual Tuesday stuff. But even the Beast isn't perfect. In 2012, Obama's Beast got stuck on a ramp in Dublin, Ireland, grinding to a halt when the underside hit concrete. Officials quickly said Obama wasn't in that car, it was just a spare. Sure, guys, sure. Now, you'd think becoming a Secret Service agent is like joining the military, right? Pass some tests, do training, boom, you're in. Nope, not even close. First, basic requirements. Between 21 and 37 years old, bachelor's degree or 3 years in criminal investigation. But here's what they don't advertise. You need good grades, a completely clean criminal record, and almost perfect vision. We're talking 20/20 or correctable to 20/20. If you've got a history of bad eyesight or needed serious vision correction, you're probably out. You also pass a physical fitness test, medical exam, drug screening, and a full-scope polygraph. They interview your friends, family, former employers, everyone who's ever known you. They even check your credit to make sure you're not vulnerable to bribery. Oh, and here's a fun rule. Agents cannot drink alcohol within 10 hours of their shift. Not a drop. So if you're on duty at 8 a.m., your last drink better have been before 10 p.m. the night before. Break that rule, you're fired. No second chances. Make it through all that? Congratulations. Now you do 31 weeks of brutal training. That's over 7 months. You're learning criminal investigation, firearms, hand-to-hand combat, defensive driving, emergency medical response, and protective tactics.
Our mindset is to attack the hand and the weapon. Notice how much of her body is between the threat and the protected. I hope your idea is you're going to grab it and throw your whole body in between.
and every 8 weeks you requalify. This isn't one and done. You're constantly tested. The defensive driving course is insane. High-speed cornering, evasive maneuvers, precision driving in vehicles weighing as much as tanks. Agents are also trained in basic medical skills and can perform emergency blood transfusions. That's why the beast carries the president's blood type. If there's no time for an ambulance, agents start the transfusion, right there in the car. Secret Service missions are zero fail. If the president gets hurt, mission failed. So they drill every nightmare scenario hundreds of times. Assassination attempts, chemical attacks, car bombings, shooters and crowds. If it happens in real life, their response is automatic. And here's something wild. The president is never alone. Ever. Even if the president asks for privacy, Secret Service agents monitor them through floor sensors detecting movement and threats. Going to the bathroom? Agent outside? Taking a shower? Agent nearby? Medical exam? Agent in the room. It doesn't matter if it's awkward. Agents have to be there. Every meal is monitored from ingredient sourcing to the plate. Poisoning is one of the oldest assassination methods, and they're not taking chances. They also screen every email and letter. Send a threatening message, even as a joke, they will investigate.
Facebook comment quoting President Trump cost a man his freedom. Part of a sheriff's new explanation was just contradicted by police. Larry Bushart has been in jail since September 21st. His bond is $2 million.
And cameras. Lots of cameras. Every presidential event is recorded from multiple angles. After JFK's assassination, the Secret Service made it standard to have a dedicated vehicle just for video recording. Now, here's what Hollywood gets wrong. In movies, agents throw themselves in front of bullets shouting, "Get down, Mr. President!" It's heroic, cinematic, and mostly fiction. There is no oath where agents swear to die for the president. If an agent sacrifices their life, it's a personal choice, not a job requirement. In fact, only one agent has ever been killed protecting a president. Leslie Caulfield on November 1st, 1950, while protecting Truman from assassins storming Blair House.
Outside Blair House, the president's temporary Washington home, extreme fanatics of the Puerto Rican Nationalist Party try to force their way in, guns blazing, to assassinate the President of the United States. When the 3-minute shooting is over, assassin Griselio Torresola lies dead on the Blair House lawn.
Caulfield was shot 3 times but stayed conscious long enough to kill one attacker and stop the assault. He died hours later. His sacrifice is honored because it's so rare. Modern Secret Service tactics are designed to avoid agents dying. They neutralize threats before they get close. They study crowds, scan rooftops, control access points. By the time a threat gets near the president, it's already been stopped. When things do go wrong, like the Trump assassination attempt in Butler, Pennsylvania in July 2024,
something that said, take a look at what happened.
the response is overwhelming. A gunman with an AR-15 fired shots, hitting Trump in the ear. Secret Service counter-snipers killed the attacker within seconds. But the incident led to major reforms. Director Kimberly Cheadle resigned days later.
Writing to colleagues, she said, "The Secret Service will move forward with our investigatory and protective mission in a steadfast manner. We do not retreat from challenge. However, I do not want my calls for resignation to be a distraction from the great work each and every one of you do towards our vital mission."
And 6 agents received suspensions. The Secret Service calls these operational failures, and they take them very seriously. Their mission is zero fail. If someone gets hurt, they didn't do their job. So, no, agents don't sign up expecting to die. They sign up expecting to be so good that dying isn't necessary. And most of the time, they succeed. All right, that's it for today. Secret bunkers, code names, 20,000-pound cars, emergency buzzers for presidential affairs. It's absolutely wild. The Secret Service operates in the shadows, plans for every disaster, and makes it all look effortless. Most of what they do we'll never know about. The best security is invisible security. If you don't know an attack was prevented, they did their job perfectly. So next time you see an agent standing stoically in the background, remember, they've trained for years, can kill you in 17 ways, know how to drive a tank disguised as a Cadillac, and might have installed a wife alert buzzer for a president. They're tactical masterminds, and they're really good at what they do. If you enjoyed this, smash that like button and subscribe for more insane true stories every week. Drop a comment. Would you want to be a Secret Service agent, or does carrying presidential blood in a mini fridge sound too intense? Let me know. Thanks for watching, and remember, reality is way crazier than fiction.